Oh, we are live.
Oh, we are.
Yes, I can see. Hello, my friends. Good afternoon. Today I'm so excited. It's another edition of My Voice, Your Voice. And today I'm so incredibly blessed to be featuring my friend, my big sis, Mary Jane from Houston. Welcome, Mary Jane, Maggie Jane.
Hi, Anita. How are you? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate that.
I, I just spoke with Mary, so I'm just calling you Mary because I finished talking with Mary. Sorry.
Hey, you know what?
Sorry, it's Maggie. It's
Hey,
Maggie.
I,
I just finished
that
talking
is
with
that is that is okay. You know
I
what,
just finished
Anita?
talking with Maggie, with Mary in church. So Mary was still on my mind, and I'm like, this is
That's
Mary
okay.
James Maggie. Sorry.
It's a
Maggie
genuine
is the
mistake.
CEO and founder of MJ's Coaching and Business Solutions. She is a leadership development consultant with extensive leadership experience with major organizations. She's led 100 employees and above, companies of $46 million. She has a lot of experience in high performing teams, and she helps to lead high performing players to a higher levels of responsibility and accountability. She is also an executive director with the John Maxwell team, and she is also my mentor and inspiration to me because whatever I'm doing now, it's based on my conversation that I had with Maggie in Florida. Thank you so much, Maggie, for accepting to be on this show. You are welcome.
I am honored to be here, Anita. Thank you so very much. And I am just thankful that it's been more than 2, 3 years since we've connected in Florida. And I am just happy to see your progress and what you're doing. And I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my sister and friend. So, Maggie, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Because I know I know you have a wealth of experience. I know you have very amazing stories. Like I told you on the phone where we spoke, My Voice, Your Voice is a platform to bring women like you to tell their stories so that other women can listen to them and know that if Maggie could do this, then I can do this. So it is simply just a platform to inspire and impact women the worldwide. So I am glad that you are here, and please do listen to Maggie because she has a ton of experience that you wouldn't want to miss. So Maggie, can you how are you doing? Before I ask you about, I know these times are unprecedented times. How are you doing at this time?
Thank you for asking, Anita. And God's willing, I'm doing well. I am doing well because while this is a very testing time for us, and it is a test, we must never forget that God knew that this was going to happen, and He has prepared us all for it. And so we have to stay focused on what we want and not be distracted by all of what's going on. We
Mhm.
can't be naive and pretend it's not happening, but what you focus on grows. So I am keeping my focus on what I really want, Anita, and that's the way I'm going to keep it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know, and I can attest to that, that you are a very focused person and you know where you are going to, and you keep going without any distraction, no matter what you have on your way. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself so that our audience will know who they are listening to?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. My name is Maggie Jean. I'm originally from an island in the Caribbean called St. Lucia, and I migrated to the US. I've been living in Houston for the last 17 years. It's been a very long interesting and fascinating journey. It's a roller coaster. There've been good times, there've been tough times. But out of these tough times, I became a better, a stronger, a well-rounded person. And here I am navigating the third act of my life. This is truly a
Mm.
third act because back when I was home in Dallas, I worked, I had a job. I came, moved to the US, I worked, I had a job. That was my second act. And now I own my own business. So this is my third act. And as a leadership development consultant, while I have a lot of experience and I find a lot of joy going into businesses to help develop the leaders, I love the coach, I enjoy doing all of that. But I have a focus on developing and enhancing the abilities of matured women, Anita, because I want them to know that there is absolutely no limits, none whatsoever. The only limit there is the one you put on yourself.
Thank you, my friend. I can attest to that because when I just migrated to the US, you remember when we met, I felt so down. I was giving you all the excuses why I couldn't do something in the US, and you pulled me aside and told me to shut up, to sit up and get out.
Suit
And you
up,
said,
let's go.
you told me you can do this. I have done this. So why can't you do this? So thank you for being uh, um, one of the person that helped me to take a stand in the US. So my second question to you will be, what are some of the challenges that you have had to face in life? Like your story, what story do you have to tell people? Because when people now see you in your third phase of life, they think all has been rosy. She just had it easy, and that's why she could create her company. So, what are some of the things that you know people don't know about you? They see just like we always say, you see just the tip of the iceberg. You don't see what is in the sea.
Thank you, Anita, for asking that. We all have a library of stories. We all have a library, and stories make our lives. And our story is here to be someone else's glory. It will impact somebody else's life. The life we live and the stories we gather, it's really not for ourselves, but to help somebody else who's coming either alongside you or they're on their way. So your story is going to give them strength. Anita, when I was growing up, it was my desire always to be a psychologist.
Mm.
Well, I mean, that was really laughable because my family couldn't afford to send me to any college or any school to be a psychologist. So that was just a dream that was buried in my heart. It was just a dream. So I did like everybody else did. I went to work and life happened. I had a family and I worked hard, diligently. I give it my all. And here I am in my third act, as I've mentioned. I made a decision and moved to the U.S. and I had some really great jobs, but they didn't just come along. These jobs came because I was very determined as to what I wanted. I am not one who's easily distracted. I'm not one for the shiny object syndrome. I know what I want. And whatever it is that any one of us will want in life, remember, there will always be detours. There will always be forks in the road. There will always be challenges. You got to roll up your sleeves. If you roll up your sleeves and you surround yourself with people who are like minded and who want to be on that same journey as you are on that journey, those are the people you surround yourself with. Most of all, Anita, it is very, very important for you to invest in yourself. Because if you do not invest in yourself, you've created that lead and you just cannot go any further because there will be people who will be in the same arena with you, who will want the same things with you, and they will fight you. Or they're going to make sure there is every block along the way that you cannot jump these hurdles. So you got to listen to that still voice within, and you have to be able to persevere, and you have to be able to be determined. Because I'll tell you, if you are tenacious, if you are strong, no matter how many barriers come your way, and no matter how many people who do not want the same thing for you, it may last for a while. The challenges that they pose are real, and you may have to endure it for a little while. But if you persist, it's not going to be that way forever. So, yes, I had many challenges, but I am not a fearful person, and I'm going to fight. And when I say fight, I'm not going to roll up my sleeves and have a physical fight. I'm going to fight with my mind. That's how I fight.
You did raise a very critical point about investing in yourself and developing yourself, which I really want to highlight, because you cannot give out what you don't have. If you want to be in the arena, you have to do what those who are in the arena are doing. You have to be able to develop yourselves. And when you develop yourself, you get to know other people. It is because you and I were investing in ourselves that we met. If we were not in the business of developing ourselves, investing in ourselves, I wouldn't have known you. And all the things that I've benefited by knowing you, I wouldn't have had them. So we are calling on this program. I choose women because when I look at what they do, I see that they are struggling to empower women. And I'm one of the person who has a strong belief that no matter how you struggle to empower a woman, that woman needs to have at least some basic education, because you are not just going to be put somewhere because you are a woman. You are going to be put somewhere because you, first of all, have the qualification, then you are a woman. I'm talking coming from not even our African context, the world around. Many women just think that when they grow up, get married, and have children, that's it for them. So if you can talk to women who still have this mentality, what are you going to tell them? Like a woman who has gone through all the rounds of the corporate world and has decided to retire and start her own business. What are you going to say to these people who think that getting married, having kids, it's okay, and that's what they were meant for?
And it's okay. It's okay to get married. It's okay to have the family. It's okay because life has to go on. It's a cycle, you know. I mean, we have to make sure that the world continues, and the world only continues when there are the people in the world. But I'll tell them bravo. I'll tell them bravo that they've decided to turn a new chapter in their lives. All right.
Yes.
We too many times limit ourselves as to what we are capable of doing because we are afraid, and we are afraid of failure, we are afraid of criticism. Unless you fail, you can't tell who you are. Unless you fail, you can't tell how much more you can be. And how about criticism? That's okay.
Mm.
Doesn't matter. It happens all the time. It happened in the corporate world most of all, right? Because in the corporate world, you got up to the sound of the clock because you were supposed to be there at a certain time. You do everything at the sound of the clock because yeah, you have a budget, you have to meet that budget, you have deadlines, you have the your other challengers, our counterparts, the men who have been in the corporate world and they're very much aligned as opposed to us women who need to be, you know, in a stronger alliance with each other for us to do the things that we want to do. But I would say bravo to any woman who has decided that enough is enough in the corporate world. This is too much of a toxic atmosphere. It is really not good for our health. It is really not good to we are becoming different people in that kind of environment. Okay. And I'm not saying all corporate jobs or all corporate roles or all corporate companies are bad, but we do know that the corporate culture is a very toxic one. So when a woman decides that I'm going to step out, and I'm going to be bold and I'm going to begin my own business, I will tell her there will be challenges because nothing comes easy. Doesn't matter how much experience or exposure you have. I will let her know that there will be challenges, but I will also let her know that, success leaves clues. Look around you. There are so many successful women. There are so many successful women that are doing things so in such an extraordinary manner. Look at them, understand where they've been and where they're going, and follow those footprints, because we can do it. We can do it.
Yes, we can do it, and together we grow. So, Maggie, knowing you from the time that I met you, I know that you moved through the corporate ranks until you were a chief executive. So, can you share some of maybe one or two challenges that you face as Maggie, as a woman of color and coming from out of America? Because those of us who have immigrated here, especially as women of color, there are a lot of challenges that we have to go through. Can you tell us some and how you handled this and then you went up to be who you are today?
I will never downplay the challenges of first being female, then being a woman of color. But what I will share with you, don't be surprised at it, Anita. I tried very hard not to let these situations define me and not to allow these situations to get in my way. I am me, and I know I had to prove myself, because you're proving yourself in a circle that has always been dominated by men. I was in the retail world. I wore a blue shirt. I don't want to give any company advertisement on your show. I wore a blue shirt, so that world was dominated by men. But you know what? I know myself to be a gifted woman. I know I had the ability, I know I had the vision, and I knew I could play the game just as well as they could. And so I went in there with no biases, no kind of limitations in my mind. I learned, I watched, I executed, and I executed just as well as everybody else did. The challenges were there, the color barriers were there, but I never let it define me. And I just worked my way through in the most honest way I could. Nothing was handed to me, nothing was given to me. I grew up the ranks on my own merit, and I am a proud woman, and I can say that today with no qualms. I got there by merit.
Congratulations, my
Thank you.
friend. I want to recognize the people who are watching. Please let us know from where you are watching. Like and share, because what Maggie is saying is something that other women have to listen to. And one of the strong points which I like to highlight is Maggie just told us, don't allow circumstances to define you. And I have always said it on this show, your present circumstances, whatever they may be, should not define your future. They can only define your future if you give them the permission to do so. So stop giving permission to people to define you, because you are the one in charge of your life. You are the pilot of your plane, and you can pilot it to wherever you want to if you are focused like Maggie is. So I know sometimes when they see successful women like you, Maggie, it's not all success. What is the greatest mistake that you have ever made in your life, and what did you take from that experience?
Looking back, Anita, I would probably tell myself that I should not have worked so very hard. I drove myself so hard. I hardly had any time for vacation. The only good thing about this, I didn't have babies. When I moved to the US, my youngest child was 16.
Mm.
So I wasn't raising little babies. So I got sort of a buy in that area, but I drowned myself in work because I just so wanted to be successful. And at that time, Anita, I didn't know a different way. I just thought that was the way, that you just had to be toiling sun up to sundown to get to where you were going. I didn't know much about that time, about alliances. I was at that time, I was not really truly investing in myself to be coached or to understand how I could have done what I am doing now in a much better way, in a more flexible way.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the things that, if I could turn back the hand of time, I would really like to enjoy my life a lot more, even on that journey to success. Because there are lots of people who, and while success means different things to different people, there are lots of people who have been and are successful, not doing, things so rigidly or regimentally. It's just, that's one page of my life. If I had to go back, that's what I would do, Anita. I certainly would.
When I look at your background, I can see that you're working as hard as I can see all the training papers. I can see that it's something that is part of you. It takes real courage to be able to to get over that habit. But I am glad they said they always say the first solution to a problem is to be able to identify
Right.
that problem. You talked about if you knew what you know now, you should have gotten coaches along the way to be able to coach you along. I always get the question when I tell people I'm a coach, they kind of like ask me, what is coaching? Is coaching something that people have to pay for? Can you speak into that? Because I have always tried to explain to them, but I like that they should listen to other voices talk about what coaching is and the importance of a coach in your life.
So that's a very, very good question, Anita, because some people think that mentoring is coaching, but I really want to define the two right now. A mentor is someone who is or has done the work that you're interested in. They're like, they excelled at it. They're an expert at it, and you want to do exactly what that person has done. So that person will come alongside you, and that person they'll mentor you, they'll monitor you, they'll do it, they'll watch you do it, and they'll guide you. So you have that mentor. They'll keep pouring into you. They'll show you all the ropes. But a coach help you dig deep down inside by asking you very, very good, great questions. And that coach will help you uncover and discover those beliefs and habits that are preventing you from excelling to who you really have to become. That's the difference. And yes, I believe everybody should have a coach, and everybody should want to know, what does it take to get me to the next level? And what it takes to get you to the next level is working with a coach. A coach asks you very good questions that will help you grow more than you ever expected. A coach does not give you the answers because you already have the answers. You just don't know it yet. That's all it is. You just don't know it yet.
Thank you so much for taking time to define those two words, because people always think, oh, when you get a coach is supposed to tell you the answers to
No,
your problems.
no,
But as coaches, we do believe that the answers are all in you. You are just not consciously aware of. And so the
absolutely.
role of the coach is to create awareness, to make you dig deep inside of you and come out with all of those answers that are already in you. I know you do this for top executives and you do this for women because I know your love for professional women. So if somebody were to contact you to be coached by you, how can the person get to you?
Well, I have a business Facebook page, and on that Facebook page, I have a calendar that they could, put themselves in the on the calendar for 30-minute complimentary session, because we have to understand whether we are a good fit for each other. My telephone number is on my Facebook business page. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Maggie Jean on LinkedIn, or you can send me a direct message via Facebook. But all my information, all my business information is on LinkedIn. It's on my Facebook business page. And the world is small, Anita. The world is just so small. We can get anybody we want. We just either Google it or we head to Facebook. Billions of people on Facebook every day. And while I do not spend a lot of time on Facebook, but I do engage Facebook every day. So they can all contact me. Anybody who wants to, want a complimentary session with me, I am certainly going to do that. Most especially, I'd love working with women and men ages 45 and up, because this is where difficulty begin forming something within them, where they begin telling themselves, am I a true leader? Do I qualify to do that? Am I capable of doing that? I love and enjoy working with people who have these challenges, because we have within us a capacity like no other. Begin your coaching sessions and you will see the difference.
To put it in the words of Paul Shelley, he says that is the period when you start to tap into your brilliance
That's right.
and use your
That's right.
power. So I like your niche, age 45 and above, because before you get to that age, you must have tried several things.
Yes.
You must have tried several things and failed in some, so that you start questioning yourself, what am I here for? What is my purpose on earth? And at that time, you know the difference between good and bad. You are no longer, you can take your own decisions by yourself. So if you are within that age group and you want to be successful, you want to do what we are doing, you can all contact us. Like I always say, we give a 30 minutes complimentary coaching session, so you can see how it works and decide if it is good for you. But like Maggie and myself are saying, until we got ourselves coaches, we never knew the value of coaching in our lives. There are people who believe that they can make it and make it big without coaches. But when I got into the business of personal development, I discovered that all of these successful business people, successful top executives, some of them have more than one coaches. They have coaches in most areas of their lives. Like last week on the show, we're talking about finance. And I said, you could do everything to earn money. But if you don't get to manage the money well, you will never be rich. And it is not it is not a problem that you don't know how to do it. You are not expected to know how to do it. And that's why you have financial coaches, you have financial planners, you have financial counselors. So, one of the things which we have learned in our journey together is not to do everything by yourself. Choose the things that you are good at, concentrate on them, and build your expertise rather than struggling to learn things which you can outsource. So you can always get to us and get your 30 minutes of complimentary coaching. And I bet you would want to do this with Maggie, because she will actually set your mind to work. I experienced this, and that is why I am telling you, coaches have coaches. It's not because I'm a coach that I don't have a coach. I'm a coach and I have coaches too. So coaching is for everyone. So Maggie, if you are listening, if you want to say something to the people who are listening and they are feeling like they already hit rock bottom, they are in so much trouble that they cannot get out. What is what can you tell those kind of people? Because I know a lot of people who just feel that life has not been fair to them and they have given up. How can we uplift those kinds of people, especially women?
There is no bottom in life, Anita. There is no bottom in life, and we cannot, and at no time can we let the old man in. We can never feel like this is it, and I'm going to let the old man in, and I'm just going to slow walk to death. So if you think you've reached bottom, rock bottom, that is just a state of mind. You have to know what you really want, and you have to gradually begin to pull yourself. Don't say that you want it and you're not sure. You have to be sure. Like our famous friend Les Brown will say, you got to be hungry, all right? And you cannot stop being hungry today or tomorrow. You always must stay in that mindset. If you feel you've hit rock bottom and there is no way, that's a choice you're making. And I'm here to tell you there is always a way, but you've got to want it. And you have to surround yourself with the right people. It is not going to happen overnight, but you must find a circle of people that will want to help you, pull you out of that quagmire that you're in. So in as much as it is important that you have a coach, it's always, always very important that you have a great inner circle around you. People who are ahead of you, people who probably come in just around this alongside you, and a couple of people just a little behind you, all right? These people are going to lift you up. They're going to be the wind beneath your wings. But you cannot give up. You cannot make that decision. When you make that decision, you are destroying your own abilities. There is something that we all can give. If you feel like you've hit rock bottom and you feel that there's a glimmer of hope, that you know there's just this little window, you see that little sunlight, that means you can still do it. Find someone. Perhaps you might be in that place where maybe I can't afford to pay somebody now. But if someone see that you're giving it a try, you're making an effort and you want to change, there's no doubt they're going to help you. You got to reach out. You got to reach out. There's no rock bottom. And please do not slow walk yourself to death. That shouldn't be.
Yay, I can see Francisca Epale watching from Toronto. Thank you, Francisca.
Hi, Francisca.
Cecilia Fomenki, all the way from Cameroon. Thank you, Dr. Cecilia Fomenki.
Hi, Cecilia.
I can see Rodney watching. I can see my sister and friend, Nicoline Ambe. Thank you, Dr. Nicoline, for watching. Thank you so much. Like and share. There is one question I've been meaning to ask you, Maggie. I know you left a six-figure job to get into
Yes.
your business. You remember the day when you told me, I looked at you and I was like, are you crazy? How did you do it? There are many people, I won't like some of us, we really want to leave the corporate world and get into our own businesses. But the fear of losing your source of income, how do I cope? How do I pay my bills? Is it that you had a lot of money stuck somewhere? Is it that you had a lot of money stuck somewhere that you just jumped out and you're like, okay, I have this money, I can always fall back on? How did you do it to leave a six-figure executive job and jump out into your own boat? One of my friends always say, don't jump from a boat into the sea, jump from a boat into another boat, which means from one job to another, but you jump from the boat into the sea. How
into
did
the
you do it?
ocean. I
That is
jumped from
one
the
of the
boat
things
into
that,
the ocean.
yeah, it's, each time I look at you, I'm so puzzled that how did she do it? And every time I see her, she has a broad smile on her face and she's so confident about what she's doing. How did you do it? Could you share it with us so you can encourage some of us to take that leap of faith?
And it is faith, Anita, because I know, as much as I know, there is a power higher than I. And I know, in as much as it has been tough, I'm not about to give up. And I'm going to keep working hard until I realize that life of abundance and wealth that I know that this is going to be mine. Because, and I'm not here to impose my faith on anybody, but the word of my Father never returns void. I know it. I had left an excellent job in the islands. I left an
I
excellent
know.
banking job, and I left it and I moved to the US. And here I came to the US, and in a matter of a few years, they saw my ability. They saw, I had whatever it took to become a general manager wearing a blue shirt. And I did that, and I did
No,
that
I know.
diligently. And yes, I made six figures. But when that time came, and I knew it was time for me to, go on to my third act. No, I didn't. I didn't have a mint stashed away anywhere, but I have belief. I have faith. I have hope. And I have a why that is so strong. I know I can develop a ton of people where I worked before, but there's so many more people out there waiting for me. People that I do not know and people who do not know me, but they know that we will connect someday, and I will help them become, well, they'll not even become aspiring, but they will be high performing leaders who will make an impact and a difference in the organization and in the lives of all the people that they lead. I know it. I feel it. I understand it, Anita. And I am bound to that call. And I'm going to roll my sleeves up every day. And I'm going to suit up. And I'm going to say, where do you need me, Lord? Send me. But of course, send me so I can get paid.
You know, to quote the words of Debbie in Gino, she said, "You need to shut up, sit up, and show up."
Exactly.
You see? So,
Exactly.
but so I don't know. It really takes a leap of faith. It takes a leap of faith because I know people who had taken that decision, jumped out into the ocean, and they started swimming and found themselves drowning, and they went back into the corporate world. I remember when we met in Florida, your organization was still very much, they were doing everything to cajole you to come back to work. They were even promising to give you better benefits, and you stood your grounds, and you have stood those grounds for all this time. So, what can you tell me who is so afraid to jump and develop my wings on my way down? I am so afraid. I know what I can do like a coach, but honestly, to be honest with you, the 9 to 5 job keeps me down. And each time I think of just going solo, I look at people like you. You are my source of inspiration, but I need something to take away that limiting belief which I have. Like, this is my source of income. I have to hold on to it.
Your source of income, you have to hold on to it, but that's not your source of income. Your source of income, you know where it's coming from. You know that, Anita.
I know.
But you have to really tell yourself what you really want. I knew that it was time. I knew that, my life, fulfillment, my joy, it was no longer tied to a six-figure salary. And I knew the chances that I was taking. I knew nobody owed me anything out there. Nobody had, nobody was offering me anything. Still, nobody is offering. I still have to go out there and knock on doors and says, here is what I have to offer. Here is what I can do for you. Would you let me? All right. But Anita, you have to know whether you want to remain in a situation that makes you question yourself, your ability, your sanity, or whether you want to live life on your own terms. Now, as I told you, Anita, this is my second act. All right. I want to work with 45 and over. So I fall in that age bracket, right? Now, I don't want anybody asking me to clock in anymore. I don't want anybody asking me what happened to this month's budget. I don't want anybody rushing me to employ people just to have a warm body. And then I did not choose the correct individual to work with me to take my business where I wanted to go. Now I have that opportunity to help businesses develop a great pool of outstanding people. I am here also to help people, to coach people be better than they ever thought they could be. All right. I want you to know that I'm not going to leave you as I find you. I'm going to leave you so much better than you didn't expect. Like our friend Zig Ziglar said, you'll have to get a microscope to look for yourself. From where you were 6 months ago to where you are now, that is my commitment. I have committed to that life, Anita. Because when I was growing into leadership, becoming a high performing leader, I had a lot of challenges. I was not surrounded with the best leaders. They didn't give me the best of themselves because these people refused to invest in themselves to make themselves better. So they just gave me what they had. Some of them didn't even care about me, but I had to care about myself. And what I got along the way, I refused to let somebody else have that. Hence the reason why I'm raising my hand. I am that person you're looking for to develop your leaders. And guess what? The world has gotten so much smaller. We can do this virtually. We don't have to go anywhere. You just call on me, and I'm here to help. But of course, I'm going to get paid, and I'm going to get paid very well. So don't be
Oh my
afraid.
gosh.
But that feeling must come from within, Anita. You have to have that calling so strong that you will not be able to say no. Doesn't matter how many $1 million you make. When that voice says, I need you to go over here, you will go. And that's what made me take the decision. I just was not afraid. I like to make, I like to take bold decisions. I'm just a bold person and I'm fearless. So let's go.
No, Maggie, I know, some we want to enjoy the freedom of being self-employed, but we don't want to pay the price. You
Well,
have
I'm
to,
paying the price.
you
The
have
earlier
to
you
at
pay the
least pay
price,
the price.
Anita,
Yeah.
the earlier you pay the price, the better it's going to be. Because if you don't pay the price early, the price will come somewhere along the way. Now, do you want the price to come when
Oh no.
worn out and tired and haggard, or do you want to pay the price where you still have your agility and all your faculties, and you can do this, you can stretch, you can do lots of things. You can stand in the mirror and say, "Hey, Maggie, I am proud of you." Do you want to do it during that time, or do you want to do it when your energy has left your soul? No, I don't want to do it then.
So somebody in our comment, Francisca says, Maggie, I noticed a photo of Oprah on your wall. I'm impressed. Oprah is all our icon, but it never occurred to me to put a photo of her in my house so I can look up to her and say, okay, if she did it, then I can do it. So
That's
Francisca
right.
says very, very, very impressed. So if you
And
have a
and
question for Maggie, we are almost running up. Type the question on the comment box and I will read it out to Maggie and she will answer. Maggie is somebody that you need to get connected to. She radiates with a lot of energy, so much so that when you are around her, you just feel energized. So you want to get connected to Maggie. This woman left a big six-figure job. We don't want to call the name of the company here because we are not advertising the company on this show, and it may be even be breach of privacy. So we don't want to call it here. But I am telling you, if you get to know Maggie more, you will know that everything is possible. And she
everything is
has
possible.
maintained her calm. So I have the Reverend Abosengwana. He's watching from the UK. He says, thanks for your inspiring talk. He's thanking you, Maggie.
Thank you, Reverend.
Francisca says a coach shows you the light switch and expects you to turn it on. Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Francisca is also
Yep.
a Maxwell coach based in Toronto. She's originally from Cameroon, as she told me.
Yes.
So she's listening from Toronto.
Well said.
Yes. So, like I said, I am always so grateful, so happy to have a conversation with you because each time I talk with you, I get more committed to what I'm doing. I take, like yesterday when we were talking, you gave me your 3 values. I tried to write them down, but we're still, you talked about being consistent, accountable, and always ready to show up. That is
Always,
how you want to
yes.
be known. Do you want to say something in that light as your values? Because I did write that down, and that was so encouraging for me.
Consistency, Anita, whoever you work with or whoever you surround, they know that they can depend on you. They know that you will always be there. They know that they can sleep well because Maggie is consistent, committed. She is committed to the end game. I'm not going to start work with you and leave you in the middle of the game. We start the first quarter till the end of the fourth quarter. I am committed to the goal, to the vision. You have that from me. And how I show up is very, very important to me. I am not perfect. I'm not seeking to be perfect, but I want to always be authentic and genuine, very intentional about everything I do with the highest of integrity. So that's my values. Consistency, I am committed, and I will always show up the way I tell you that I will.
Thank you so much, Maggie. Thank you. A lot of people are just saying thank you so much on the
Thank you.
on the comment page. They are saying the talk is very inspiring. We don't only want to inspire you, we want to inspire you, we want to impact on you, and we want to empower you. If you listen just to us talking for this, getting close to an hour, you must have been able to pick out something which can help you in life. That is our mission on My Voice, Your Show. Again, you are talking to Maggie Jean. She's based in Houston. She is an executive leadership consultant. When I insist on it, because she herself has been an executive leader, and being an executive leader in this country, being a woman of color, you have to know that she's full of grit to be able to have to navigate that path to where she is. So there's a lot you can learn. Okay, Francisca says, Maggie, you are well spoken.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you so
So
much.
I like to read the comments
Thank you.
from our audience to show that we are actually appreciative of the fact that
Very much.
the so Maggie, if you have one last word for our audience, what would it be?
I would like to tell the audience and those who engage us on the page as we are live, I want to let them know that I value their time and I'm glad that they're here to support us as women as ourselves, men too, who are supporting us because this is not about men versus women because we're all in this together and we can support each other. So those of
Mhm.
you who are following us live and those of you who are watching the replay, I want you to know that I value your time and I appreciate you. Anita, I can't tell you more how proud I am of you that you've taken that bold step, and now you're establishing yourself in that realm. You have a platform and you're going to give women a voice. I want to tell you, I am tremendously proud of you and I will always support you because One is too small a number for success. We cannot do any of this on our own. I want to thank the Reverend who, commented, and tell the Reverend, just continue to lift us up in prayer. We always need prayer. And I want to tell us all who are on here, whether you are a top executive, whether you are leading a team or not leading a team, or you have a vision to grow, there is always room, and the top is not crowded, because lots of people start the journey and they cannot finish. So there's lots of room at the top, and you should not go there all by yourself. Take some people along with you. So if you see a sister or brother struggling on the way and you have a little more energy, and when I say energy, you probably have a skill that that person does not have, help them along the way. We must help each other. Service is the highest form of leadership. So let's serve each other. Let's help each other. And then perhaps you could do like me, forget the six-figure job, because now you're going to be heading for 2 comma pays, right? You have a paycheck with 2 commas. How
I
about that?
know, I
How about
know.
that?
We
Gotta
want the
believe.
2 commas, but we are
You
so
gotta believe.
pay
You
the
gotta
price.
believe.
I know,
You gotta
Maggie.
believe. But still, getting that 2 comma check, you cannot do it on your own. You've got to surround yourself with some really good people who want the same as you. And that's why I also believe in collaboration, Anita. I'm so proud of you, and I'm grateful that you gave me this opportunity to, speak my truth today. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure for me to bring you my mentor, my inspiration. You are one of the person who is always there to uplift me when my spirits are low. You always send me texts to find out how I am doing. I don't take that for granted, Maggie. I'm so, so appreciative of that. And that is why I had to bring you to come and talk on my show so people can know that it doesn't, like they always say, you cannot wait to be good to start. You have to start to be good. So I decided to jump, as our mentor Paul always said, to jump and develop my wings on my way down. It's not going to be perfect, but I am ready to learn. I come along with a teachable spirit and ready to learn from mentors like you, from people like you who have gone ahead and who are succeeding. And because I have the opportunity to know you, I don't want to keep you to myself. That is why I brought you on this show so that other people can listen to you and get to know you. We are all in this together. It is not a competition. Like we always say, the earlier women learn to complement each other rather than compete.
Yes.
Somebody's going to ask me, you are a coach. Why bring a coach on your show and advertise a coach? No, my main aim is to inspire and impact and empower women. I don't care who is going to do that. All I want is that a woman should be inspired, should be impacted, should be empowered to step out of the comfort zone and into their own power in order to be able to tap into their brilliance. I love that phrase by Paul Shelley,
Yes.
because
Yes.
until you start tapping into your brilliance, you will not know what freedom is. So I also want to use this opportunity to thank all of those. I have my reverend daughter, Ndri Fosa, who is watching. Please, if you did not have the opportunity to watch us live, share this video, organize a watch party, encourage people to watch the video. And if you are just joining now, please go to the beginning of this video. There were a lot of nuggets that Maggie gave at the beginning, and in the middle, you will want to watch the whole video. Thank you so much, my big sister. I like to call you that, my big sister, my friend, and my mentor. And I am so glad that you accepted to be on this show.
Thank
Again,
you
it
so
has
much.
been my voice, your voice, a place for authentic conversations. Thank you so much and love you so, so, so much.
Love you, Anita, and thank you so much. And keep doing what you're doing, because you are brave in your own way. There are people who want to do what you're doing, but they're afraid to take that step. So kudos, good on you, proud of you, and thank you.
Thank you so much. I copied one thing. I'm going to get Oprah. Oprah is she has been my mentor from when I was young. I just love her, and I'm like, okay. So I saw her picture. I'm going to put it somewhere. So it reminds me that if she could do it, I can do it. Thank you. Thank you.
But it's also strategic. You see her watching over my shoulder, right?
Yeah, and seeing what you are doing and saying, girl, you can do this. Go, 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 go. So I really, I have her picture in my phone, but it didn't occur to me that I could do a portrait and keep in my house. It's not like we are worshiping Oprah, no. Like
No,
Maggie said in her conversation, you have to surround yourself with people who can add value to you.
elevate you.
And some of our mentors, they are our mentors, but they don't even know us because you learn from their work, you listen to them, you read their books, and you learn something from what they have said or done that you implement in your own life. So a mentor is not necessarily somebody you talk with on a daily basis. It can be somebody that you admire and you want to not be like her, but learn from her way of life and be you, because we all do want to be us. So thank you so very much. And again, it has been a great time. Maggie, do tune in next week to watch the other
Yes,
the
I
next
will.
the next
Thank you.
person. If I know you are very busy. If you are busy, just watch the replay. I will always like to get feedback from you because I want to be better, big sis. I
Yes.
want to be better. I don't want to fail you. Remember, I promised you in Florida that I was not
Yes.
going to fail you.
You
Okay.
started. You
Yeah.
started. You're doing good work, and I will be watching. I will watch on Sunday.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
You're very
Bye.
welcome. Have a good rest of the day, and thank you, everyone. I appreciate you.
Thank you.